Now the next speaker, Anji Jain.
Orbital cellulitis, a nightmare for the ophthalmologist and an agony of pain for the patient. But what if I say it's changing its face from a red painful eye to a painless proptosis? Good morning, everyone. Let me take you all through our study on the analysis of meandering trends of orbital cellulitis. Orbital cellulitis has drawn the attention of clinicians since ages due to its propensity to cause sight-threatening infection of the ocular adnexa and ocular tissue. But since the last few years, we have observed a drastic difference in the presentation of patients, the disease outcome, and the management protocols. So with the aim to analyze these trends over the years and to enable practitioners to understand the factors causing these changes, we decided to conduct a retrospective study. We studied 35 patients over a time period of 15 years, which was later subdivided into 3 groups of 5-year interval each. Further analysis was done whether the presentation was primary, that is the first presentation at KGMC, or secondary, that is partially treated elsewhere. Age of presentation, children, adolescent, and adults, assessment of various symptoms and signs, and the possible etiologies was done, as well as the patients requiring a drainage of subperiosteal abscesses were divided into whether we got a wet tap or a dry tap. The collected data was compiled into various charts. In this chart, we can see the most common etiology in children is sinusitis, but the post-dental infection tops the adults. We also noticed a decreasing trend in the post-sinusitis cases and a rising trend in the post-dental infections. Here we can see the frequency of cases in various age groups in all the 15 years is fairly comparable. However, males hold a preponderance over females. We noticed a decreasing trend in the primary presentation of orbital cellulitis and a rising trend in the secondary presentation. And as a mirror to this trend, we noticed decreased number of cases with the wet tap and a rise in number with the dry tap. Regarding the signs and symptoms, we noticed a decrease in trend in the pain and swelling of eyelid, which is a mirror of the primary presentation of orbital cellulitis. We also noticed a rise in proptosis and diminution of vision, which represents the secondary presentation. This is a beautiful chart showing dry and wet tap cases, and we noticed a significant positive correlation between the secondary presentation and the number of dry taps. So our hypothesis was domiciliary treatment with over-the-counter medications in suboptimal doses leads to the relief in acute symptoms of orbital cellulitis, but the underlying disease remains unanswered. This leads to more and more referred cases with complicated symptoms to the tertiary care centers. It highlights the importance of a hospital-based therapy. So we decided to make a working protocol for the primary healthcare physicians, and here is the same. Despite a few limitations, ours was one of the first studies to analyze the secondary presentation and the occurrence of dry tap in orbital cellulitis, and the working protocol made for the primary healthcare physician is the uniqueness of the study. So, we saw a shift in clinical presentation, course of disease and management outcomes, decreasing trend in post-sinusitis orbital cellulitis, and an increasing trend in post-dental infection cases. More and more referred cases with incomplete resolution of diseases are seen. So ladies and gentlemen, are we witnessing a change in trend of the presentation of orbital cellulitis from an acute onset painful proptosis to a painless proptosis? I think yes. What do we take home with us? Orbital cellulitis, a sight-threatening infection. All patients should be admitted no matter what. Mandatory hospital-based IV therapy, close monitoring of response, and need for early referral is the need of hour. Last but not the least, robust primary healthcare services in developing nations to reduce the socio-economic burden caused by these kind of unresolved cases is the need of hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you for finishing on time.
Thank you. So which type of patients you are getting more, primary or secondary?
Sir, over the years we noticed that we are getting more and more secondary presentations. Since we are sitting at a tertiary healthcare center, what is a very common trend, the patients are being treated by over-the-counter drugs, either in their villages or in primary healthcare centers. And we are getting patients which give a history of pain, redness 3 to 4 months back. And now they are coming just with proptosis, and on CT scan we are able to see abscesses which have a thick wall, which are very, very difficult to drain. So we saw this trend and we decided to make a study out of it.
Thank you.